I spent my life watching men chase the wrong prize. They desired love when they should have desired respect. They sought comfort when they should have pursued strength. They believed honesty alone would protect them, while the world quietly rewarded those who understood human nature. And so, before I speak another word, I ask you a question. When was the last time someone truly respected you? Not admired you, not praised you, not applauded your kindness, but respected you so deeply that they hesitated before crossing you. If your answer does not come easily, then listen. For what I am about to tell you has survived 5 centuries, not because it is pleasant, but because it is true. I am Niccolò Machiavelli. History remembers me as the author of The Prince. Many have called me ruthless. Others have called me a teacher of tyranny. They misunderstood me. I did not write about the world as it should be. I wrote about the world as it is. And if you wish to thrive in this world, you must first abandon the comforting illusion that people always act from virtue. They act from desire, from fear, from ambition, from self-interest. Once you understand this, you will stop taking betrayal personally. You will stop expecting fairness from those who seek advantage, and you will finally begin to see people as they truly are. During my years serving the Republic of Florence, I stood beside men who smiled with perfect sincerity while planning each other's downfall. They embraced allies in public and sharpened knives in private. At first, I believed this was the corruption of politics. Then I realized something far more unsettling. Politics was merely a mirror. It reflected the human heart. The same games played in royal courts are played today in offices, friendships, businesses, and even families. Only the clothing has changed. Human nature has not. You believe your greatest enemy is the man who openly opposes you. It is not. The most dangerous man is the one who applauds your success while quietly hoping for your failure. Jealousy rarely announces itself. It smiles. It congratulates. It pretends. Then it waits. This is why I learned to observe actions rather than promises. Words are among the cheapest possessions a man owns. They cost nothing to give and everything to believe. Judge a man by what he repeatedly does when no reward awaits him. There, and only there, will you discover his character. You have been taught that kindness always returns kindness. Sometimes it does. Often it returns expectation. The more freely you give yourself to everyone, the less extraordinary your presence becomes. What was once generosity slowly transforms into obligation in the minds of others. Soon, they no longer thank you. They expect you. And when, for the first time, you refuse, they call you selfish. Do not mistake this for cruelty. It is simply the way human beings adapt to comfort. If you wish to remain valuable, never become endlessly available. Scarcity gives value to gold. Scarcity also gives value to your attention. Protect it. Your attention is your kingdom. Every moment you surrender to people who do not deserve it is land handed willingly to strangers. Guard it as a wise prince guards his borders. You spend years trying to avoid disappointing others. Yet in doing so, you disappoint the one person whose approval matters most, yourself. A man who betrays himself for acceptance will eventually lose both. He will lose himself because he abandoned his principles. And he will lose acceptance because people instinctively sense weakness. Strength is quiet. It does not beg. It does not explain itself endlessly. It simply exists. When I observed great leaders, I noticed something they all possessed. Not wealth, not armies, not noble blood. They possessed certainty. Even when uncertain, they appeared certain. Not because they knew the future, because they trusted their judgment enough to act. Indecision destroys more kingdoms than bad decisions ever could. A wrong decision teaches. No decision weakens. Many of you wait for confidence before taking action. You have reversed the order. Confidence is born from action, Every promise you keep to yourself strengthens your spirit. Every promise you break weakens it. Your habits become your reputation with yourself. And that private reputation eventually becomes visible to the world. People often ask how they may gain influence. They search for clever words, persuasive techniques, secret strategies. They overlook the greatest source of influence: self-command. The man who cannot control his temper cannot control a conversation. The man who cannot control his desires cannot control his future. The man who cannot control his fears will forever obey those who threaten them. Master yourself first. Only then should you attempt to lead others. Look around you. How many men sacrifice years chasing approval from people they secretly dislike? How many silence their opinions simply to avoid discomfort? How many abandon dreams because strangers might laugh? These chains are invisible, yet they imprison more souls than iron ever has. Freedom does not arrive when everyone accepts you. Freedom begins when you no longer require their permission to become who you were meant to be. Do not confuse this with arrogance. Arrogance is loud because it doubts itself. True confidence speaks softly because it has nothing to prove. The strongest lion does not roar at every passing animal. He roars only when necessary. Silence is often a greater display of power than endless explanation. Learn to let others underestimate you. It is one of the greatest advantages a person can possess. While they study your words, improve your abilities. While they seek attention, cultivate discipline. While they compete for applause, compete only with yesterday's version of yourself. Victory achieved quietly lasts longer than victory announced loudly, and never forget this. Your enemies reveal themselves less through hatred than through comfort. When someone grows comfortable disrespecting your time, your boundaries, or your principles, they have already measured the distance between your words and your actions. If that distance is wide, they will continue, not because they are evil, because you have taught them that there is no consequence. Every boundary ignored once becomes easier to ignore again. Respect is built upon consistency, not anger, not threats. Consistency. Say what you mean. Mean what you say. Then stand by it. The world quickly learns which men can be moved and which cannot. 5 centuries have passed since I walked the streets of Florence. Empires have risen and collapsed. Kings have become presidents. Letters have become messages sent across invisible networks. The tools of civilization have changed beyond imagination, yet the human heart remains astonishingly familiar. It still hungers for power. It still fears rejection. It still envies success. It still mistakes popularity for respect. This is why my observations continue to live. Not because I predicted the future, because I understood people. And people rarely change. So, I leave you with this final thought. Do not waste your life trying to become impossible to hate. That is a battle no man has ever won. Instead, become impossible to ignore. Build your character so firmly that praise cannot intoxicate you and criticism cannot destroy you. Protect your time. Guard your principles. Observe more than you speak. Trust actions over promises. Master yourself before seeking to master the world. Do this, and whether you wear a crown, lead a company, or simply seek peace within your own soul, you will possess a power that no throne can grant, and no enemy can ever take away.